Hello, Internet, and welcome back to Antiheroes Anonymous, or welcome for the first time if it's your first time joining us. I'm Ethan, and I'm the Dungeon Master for this 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons show! I've got some announcements and a recap that we need to get through before we get into the action tonight, but before that, I'd like to start off with some player introductions. So Nick, would you go ahead and kick those off?
Sure. Hi, I'm Nick. I play Sir Thaddeus Hammerlock, the Human Vengeance Paladin.
Hi, I'm Kay. I play Harmony, who's the Tiefling Wild Magic Sorcerer.
Hi, I'm Zach, and I play Zant, who is a human fighter ranger.
And I'm Melissa, and I play Mara, who is a human rogue swashbuckler extraordinaire.
She is an extraordinaire. That's true.
Very notable.
The most notable, the only notable one. Anyways, we premiere our episodes on YouTube every Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. Throughout the show, we use a variety of custom items, as well as a custom wild magic table, so be aware of that as you're watching. The character portraits, which you'll see on the info cards in one of the corners of the screen. This way? No, this way. Yep. We're drawn by an artist named Carrie Peach, who goes by @CarrieDraws on Twitter. Other than that, one more thing before that. If you need a refresher on anything going on in this campaign, we have a campaign wiki at World Anvil, which you can check out. Other than that, you can check out the video description for links and information to everything I just mentioned and more, such as a few links to some Black Lives Matter resources. And finally, we just hope that you follow us on Twitter at AntiheroesAnon and enjoy the show, share it with your friends, and come back and watch some more. So that's the announcements, and now for the recap. The Antiheroes defeated the Night Hag Mother Midnight in her lair on Malbolg, the 6th layer of the 9 Hells. However, before they could escape Hell, Asmodeus appeared to Mara in a time-stop situation where only she could react, and offered a deal in exchange for Moloch, the party's impish friend. Mara accepted the deal, and so Asmodeus, I was trying, for some reason my brain wanted to say Thaddeus instead of Asmodeus, and I was like, that's not right.
Asmodeus.
Asmodeus returned Moloch to the party. Unfortunately, Thaddeus's plan to exploit a loophole in his deal with Glacia failed, and he almost came to blows with Moloch himself, but Harmony intervened with a well-placed banishment spell. Instead of being banished immediately to his home plane of Alen'dal, however, Thaddeus was diverted on his way to the plane of Arborea, where he learned that Esanahen, his deity, had a bit of a clouded and tragic history with one of her sisters, as well as how events would come to play out based on that history when he eventually did return to Alen'dal. And upon being sent home, Thaddeus's sword activated, becoming the final component of his half-brother Gavin's ritual to open the eye of the... Oh, sorry, shoot. Just destroyed my phone. The eye in the moon, which basically involved a beam of light shooting out of the sword and striking the moon, erupting a massive hole in its center and sending debris out to the sides. And we are going to get into what exactly that means now. So, the rest of you who are not Thaddeus, after calming Moloch down and convincing him to come back to Alen'dal with you and essentially put his faith entirely in Harmony, Harmony, you cast your wish spell, wishing to return home to Alen'dal. And that magic swirled around you. All of you can see the rainbow magic of Harmony's power begin to take effect. And suddenly you are yanked from your current position in the multiverse and thrust across the planes in that sort of dizzying and confusing whirlwind of color that you've grown accustomed to at this point. When the rainbow swirl clears, you find yourselves in a new destination. Harmony, where would you say when you wished to go home, what pops into Harmony's mind? What specific?
Oh, red water.
Red water. That's
Red
what I
water,
thought.
100%.
When the rainbow swirl clears, you find yourself standing on the wooden planks that make up the town of Redwater as it sits upon this river with reddish hue that gives the town its name. You're sort of in the middle of the village square, and there is a thick coating of snow on the ground that has been trampled down by people moving through the town throughout the day. More snow is coming down, but kind of only in a slow, like sort of drifting sense. It's not a heavy snowfall. And it is a well moonlit night. As you sort of look up into the sky, you can see a large full moon hanging in the sky above you. And it's just a brief, peaceful moment in the town of Redwater as the group of you realize that you have made it back to the material plane. What are your initial reactions?
I want to eat something.
I want to look around to make sure everyone that we left hell with is here.
Mara's there. You look and you see Zant as well, kind of clutching his stomach from hunger.
Just wanting to taste something good.
You have Moloch kind of perched on your shoulder. Byakko came alongside Zant as well, and Pinky kind of crawls out of Mara's pocket and sniffs the crisp winter air as well. So it seems like everyone returned safely.
Okay, and then I'm going to look at the town. Does it look pretty much how we left it, except covered in a layer of snow?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like there are kind of candles in people's windows, and you can see like smoke from people's chimneys as people have fireplaces, alight and warming their homes. Some places have kind of put up, very sort of wintry decorations, as there are several wintry festivals towards the end of the final month of the year, which some of the people in this town are probably preparing for. And it's very peaceful.
Then I'm going to...
No angels.
No, I'm going to turn to the group and say, well, we're back. Yeah, I'll see you later. And I run off.
Okay.
And I'm going to the temple to find Eli.
Nuh-uh. You're not going to the bar first or whatever? Where
No. You
Alright.
can go to the bar. If that's
Yeah.
where you want to go. That's not where I'm going.
Well, Harmony, you get about maybe 500 feet away from the group before a blast of radiant light from over to the east streaks up into the sky, and it's this beautiful like bluish beam, but it's massive, and it just streaks straight up into the sky and collides directly with the center of the full moon above. And the group of you watch, sort of listening to the rumbling sounds that kind of echo throughout the entire world, presumably, as bits of the moon are blown away from the epicenter of where this beam strikes it. And the beam just seems to bore into the center of the moon, throwing more and more chunks to the side, until finally it subsides, and you can see that there is a massive hole directly through the center of the moon. And the chunks of earth that were thrown thrown out of that center hole basically orbit around the moon to the sides, forming these sort of triangular, like asteroid belt type structures, effectively giving the moon the appearance of a massive eye floating in space. And in that brief moment, when you can see completely through to the other side of the moon, a shadow begins to well up in the middle of it and leak out from the center of the moon. And you can hear people, like you can see people running out of their houses. Some people are screaming. Everyone is looking up. Some are like holding their hands over their mouths and gasping in surprise. Yes.
Yep, I'm going to continue on my way to the temple,
What do the rest
pushing
of you
past
do?
people.
I'll look to Mara and say, I think we have a problem.
Good grief, what now? I'm still tired from the laugh. It's like if it's not below us, it's above us.
Are we in the right world? Is this some sort of parallel dimension or something?
I mean, make a perception check.
Yeah, I can. I think I'll do that. I rolled pretty low, actually, Ethan, an 11.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like the Redwater that you've come to know and love, but who knows? Weird
Well-
stuff happens with Harmony's magic.
Guess we'll wait for Harmony to come back.
I know, and I wonder where she sent Thaddeus. Should we look for him?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Thaddeus is nowhere to be seen.
Maybe he's already at the temple too.
Hmm.
Or do you think he'd go to the
Well,
inn to get food?
Thaddeus came back a different way because Harmony banished Thaddeus. And then she teleported us, so he's somewhere else. Do we have the Sending Stone with us right now?
The Ruby
Is it-
Ascending.
And it's already been used.
I
as
have
well.
it, and yeah, it's been used
'Cause we
today. It
talked to
can't be used again
Glossia.
until tomorrow. Mhm.
I don't have any way to reach out to him.
Still
without
have
something
the
like that.
earring ending, but that's just only there if we're really close, so that won't work. So can we scry on him? I think he has the scrying ball too.
Yeah.
Or do you have it, Zach?
I did use it last
did?
for
Yeah, that's true.
Malagard's body.
I'm sure you have
Art.
something of his in your bag of holding, like one of his books or something.
Yeah. But could we use that?
You want to
I mean, if you've still got it.
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
Are
I
you
don't.
still? I'm not there.
I'm not attuned to it. No. We
Yeah,
always
that's the
switch
thing
attunement,
is
so we'd have to spend
You
time
would have
attuning.
to attune to it.
So let's go hang out with Rick and company for a little bit while we take care of this and have some good tasting food while we wait for Harmony to come back.
That
And
sounds
then over
amazing.
dinner, I'll scry on Thaddeus.
I'm starving.
I just want something that tastes more, that doesn't taste like ash.
Won't that be nice?
Biako nods.
So the rest of you, other than Harmony, go to the tavern. What was that place called?
River
The River's Bed
Landing?
Tavern. Rivers. I think it's
Riverbrook
Rivers-
Landing, I think.
Maybe that's it.
Sure.
Whatever it was called, the group of you head that direction, and Harmony heads the other way. Harmony, you make your way through the town, and more people are pouring out of their houses to look up at the sky above. And all of you see this, though from your different places in the world at this point. The darkness that was spreading out from the moon begins to slowly spread across the sky, and it is like a inky black darkness that stands out even against the darkness of space above. And it slowly inches its way across the sky, blinking out stars one by one.
As I go, I'd like to be telling people to get back in their houses.
Do you want to like intimidate them back in, or what do you say? How do you?
Well, because I lived here for 5 years, I assume most people recognize me.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm not trying to scare them, but I'm just warning them, like, this is not a spectacle. This is dangerous. Everyone get back in your houses and shut your doors, lock your doors, lock your windows. Get inside. Get
Are you
inside
using-
now. That
I'm
kind of
using
thing.
thaumaturgy to like boom your voice.
No, I'm just shouting at people as I go through. I'm not trying to scare them. Well, I don't want them to be scared of me, but I want them to understand the gravity of the situation.
Yeah, just make a persuasion check.
Okay.
Take advantage because you know these people.
Okay.
And they know you.
Oh, good thing I had advantage because one of those was a 3. But it's persuasion, which I'm pretty good at. So 22.
22. Yeah. So you see, basically, most of them have fear in their eyes. They look terrified at what they're witnessing above them in the sky. But when they see you come running through the town and telling them, to get back inside, it's not safe out here. A little bit of that fear, I mean, it doesn't completely vanish, but a little bit of that fear vanishes from their eyes as they see you, they know what you're capable of, and they listen to you. Anyone who you shout at gets back in their homes.
Cool.
And
I'm just
you
basically shouting as I run through the streets.
Yeah, so basically you clear a path through the town, and anyone who hears you on that path goes back in their homes. Eventually you reach the Temple of Melora, where Eli lives. And it's this big stone structure in the midst of the town that is set afloat above the river. Eli is standing outside, staring up at the sky, just jaw down. He doesn't seem to notice your approach at first.
I'll shout at him as soon as I see him. Just, Eli! Running.
Harmony, are you all right?
Just run and jump.
Oh, thank goodness you're home. Or maybe I wish you were back there. I don't know. Things look.
There's not much
bad
I can
last
do about that
saw
right
you.
now. I'm exhausted.
Where's everyone else? Is everyone else okay? Is Thaddeus? Is he all right?
Is he always the first one you ask about?
He taught me a lot. I don't know.
Look, it's a
him.
really, really long story. But everyone's fine. Everyone's fine. We're all alive. We're all back. I think.
And he just he's torn between relieved to see you and you can tell he's looking at you and then he's looking up at the sky. He doesn't know where to give his attention right now.
I look up at the sky too at this point.
Do you know what this is about? What's going on? Are we okay?
We're not okay. That's very much not okay. A goddess basically told me that this is really much not okay. I'm not 100% sure what exactly is happening, but it's not good.
And as the two of you have this conversation and watch, more and more of the stars are blotted out and the night begins to get darker and darker. Okay, well, what do we do? We need to do something about this, right?
Let's just start by making sure everyone's in their homes safe. A lot of people are jumping out into the streets to look and see what's going on, but
right, that's smart.
I don't know what else we can do at this point. I'd never been so exhausted in my life.
Okay, well, you rest here. Just go into my room. Sit down. Take care of yourself for a moment. I'm gonna fly around town, and as he says this, he manifests the glowing angel wings from his back. I'm gonna fly around town and tell everyone to stay inside. That's a good idea.
Okay. Thank you.
And he looks at you, kind of with a sense of determination now that he has a path in mind. Gives you a quick peck on the cheek, and then with a flap of the radiant wings, flies up into the sky and begins calling out to people.
I just watch him go for a little bit, and then I go
inside. He's kind of like a bright light amidst the ever-darkening sky.
I'll go inside to his room, but I'm not really resting. I'm looking out the window.
Yeah.
I assume he has got a window in his room.
Yeah, he does.
I'll basically go into his room and just watch out from the window.
Mara and Zant, you come to the inn.
So, real quick,
yep.
before on the way to the inn, as everything's sort of unfolding, as the stars start to get sort of blotted out, like you said, I'd like to see why, if I can get my scope out and get a better idea of what is doing that.
Yeah.
So I'd like to just spend a second while we're walking. I'm like, what is going on? And try and understand.
Yeah, so you kind of turn your scope into a mini telescope. And
yeah, if possible.
Sure. Roll that perception check, and I think you get advantage when you use your scope.
Okay. That gives me a 24.
Yeah. What you can see, you can't see everything perfectly because you are looking through a scope that is not intended for astronomical use, but you can see that the shadow that is blotting out the night stars is definitely 100%. It's emanating from the moon itself. The hole that was blown into the moon, the shadow is coming directly from that central hole. And it seems to be like the darkness that is extruding from the moon seems to be kind of it's similar in a lot of ways to like smaller scale darkness spells that you've seen.
So it doesn't really look like organic. It's more of just like it's just like a controlled, like just expanding.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Some magical darkness is originating from the moon and expanding out to cover the stars.
Okay.
Basically, effectively, from your point of view, blotting them out.
Yeah, I was considering that it could be like swarms of monsters or something that are just like flying out in all directions, and I was like, oh,
giant clouds of
shoot.
heartless.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I was like, here we go.
You can determine beyond a shadow of a doubt that it is like a magical field of darkness, like
Okay.
similar to smaller scale spells. That
I don't know if I
seen.
feel better, but at least I understand a little bit more, hopefully. So, okay, I'm like, kind of, huh?
Yeah. What'd you see?
Oh, gosh. I mean, how do we even explain this as we're like walking into the inn or the place? I'm like,
Yeah, well, Hilda and Rick are like many of the citizens of the town outside their tavern at the moment, staring up. They seem to be kind of like clutching each other, holding each other close as they just look up at the sky, and they're talking quietly to themselves in rushed, scared-sounding tones as you approach.
okay. So, I'll kind of explain my findings tomorrow as we approach them. Be like, yeah, some sort of magical darkness coming out of there, and I'm like looking back at it, and I'm like, we're gonna need to get everyone together again. Hopefully, we can figure out where Thaddeus is and get over there and kind of regroup. And then,
It's some kind of sort of big, massive spell. You think?
yes, maybe. I mean, this when the Asanahan told one of us or two of us about this phenomena that was occurring, might occur, and then we kind of all shared notes, right?
Yeah,
So we're
you got
not
a little bit
completely
of
in the dark.
information from Isanahen, but you don't know the full
Yeah,
backstory.
yeah.
I think.
I'm talking about like way back when we first heard about this occurring, or that it could occur, this omen, I guess.
Yeah, there was a point in time where Harmony cast like a commune spell or something like that. It wasn't commune,
Yeah.
but
Or
it was one of
divination.
But
divination.
Thaddeus
Maybe.
also had a dream, and I wasn't sure. I thought he told us the contents of that dream.
I don't
Yeah, he
know.
did.
Ever.
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah.
I think he told us about the dream a long
That
time
was
ago.
around like the
I've seen-
Kamehameha thing.
I've seen it in visions, but I didn't know exactly what was going on.
Mhm.
I just
Yeah.
saw what we are now seeing for real.
Yeah, and so I think we are able to sort of put two and two together about like what Harmony was telling Eli, and I'm like, yeah, this is kind of matching that omen. I'm like,
Mhm.
this is
So
not
you
good.
know that you would know that this has something to do with Thaddeus and his goddess, but you
Yeah.
don't know like the specific history of it all.
I'm like, Thaddeus, just keep it together, please. Come on. So, yeah, so we'll approach the two there and be like, oh, hey guys.
Man, I wonder if he triggered it. Do you think he triggered it?
I will have to chat with him and see what he knows about it. Maybe he has some sort of revelation now.
Where is that guy?
Well, we'll find out soon, hopefully.
I hope so.
Yeah.
As you approach, Hilda and Rick kind of vaguely notice you coming, and then they do a double take. Oh, it's you. Oh, hello. Do you know what's going on? What is this? What's
Yeah, let's
happening?
talk inside about it if you don't mind. We're pretty hungry, and I'll like hand him a small pouch of like coins. I'm like, we just got back from hell.
Hilda looks at you like,
we're like exhausted.
You know what? I'm just gonna go back to the kitchen and pour a couple bowls of soup for us while they're chatting and he's calming them down. Bring it back out.
Yeah, I mean, like you give Hilda this money and like say that you want to go inside and have some food and
Yeah.
like rest, and they're just like they can't wrap their minds around how nonchalant you're being at the moment. And finally, Rick is just like, "Yeah, sure, go on in. We're gonna stay out here. Just help yourselves."
Sure.
You go in and you see there is a pot of stew. It looks like that was made and ready to be served, but was swiftly abandoned. And it's just kind of left there cooling on the counter in front of the kitchen.
All right.
Some bowls are kind of strewn across the floor.
So I'll get to work then on I guess if Mara's grabbing some food, then tuning to the scrying orb.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before too long, the group of you each have bowls of stew, and Zant is kind of sitting there attuning to an orb in a tavern that you have all to yourselves because everyone else is outside. At least for a few minutes until you see a sort of streak of light across the sky. And you, from the window, you can see Eli lands in front of the inn and just kind of has a quick word with Rick and Hilda and then whoosh, takes to the sky again. And they kind of come in a daze, but really just kind of like see that you've got soup and they're just like, oh, okay. Yeah, we'll just be in the back. And it seems like Rick is like he's a little bit out of it. Like
I mean, I think everyone probably is.
Yeah. So Hilda's just like, I'm gonna go get him to lie down. Just
Yeah, I
and
guess
she just goes away.
Yeah, if Hilda comes back and like questions us about it, I can tell her a little bit about what's going
No,
on.
she doesn't come back out from the back room after
Okay.
she helps Rick back. So
Sure.
you still have the tavern to yourselves.
That's fine.
All right.
Gonna set up some romantic candles. Dinner date for two.
Actually, I have a candle in my pack that I've been dying to light. I'm going to light the blue candle.
Yeah, you've lit this candle once before. It kind of glows with a soft bluish
Like
light.
the black flame candle.
Yeah.
Okay, done.
It changes the atmosphere of this tavern completely because it's got this bluish light. But other than that, it's just kind of a nice candle.
It's canon.
So let's shift to Thaddeus. We'll take a little break from Redwater, and we'll deal with Thaddeus. To remind you, Nick, of the situation, you had arrived on sort of an open plains, and you could see towns here and there dotting the plains in the distance. There was snow blanketing the ground, just like back in Redwater, but there's sort of a circle of robed, hooded figures that you kind of landed smack dab in the center of. Gavin was there also, looking very ragged, like he hadn't slept or eaten in several days, or even like he hadn't shaved, so he's a little bit unkempt in the face. And he had just pleaded with you, Thaddeus, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to. And then this event occurred. And when it happens, Gavin falls to his knees and just buries his head in his hands and is just basically whimpering in the snow. And these hooded figures seem to spend a moment looking up at the sky, for the time being ignoring you. What would you like to do?
All of those hooded figures need to like make a wisdom save because Thaddeus is still in his avenging angel mode. It hasn't been that long since this fight started.
Good point. Let me do that then real quick.
Because like I know that they're occupied on this, but like Thaddeus is kind of a sight to behold at this point. He's
How
like,
long
Sure.
were you with Isanahin?
like
Was that in a
5-10 minutes maybe?
But
was
that was
that
kind
a
of
moment
like
out of time?
It was a moment out of time.
Okay.
Absolutely. So it's as if no time has passed there. There we go. There's the stat block I need.
Thaddeus is like beaten and ragged. He's probably like pretty stubbly himself, just like Gavin. He's got these wings and he's got these like glowy silver eyes. He's like a different Thaddeus than Gavin has seen.
You said a wisdom save?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we'll say there are 6 of these guys. 21.
That passes.
27.
Wow.
16.
That fails.
Wow, that's a 19 on the dice, so that's another pass. 17 on the dice, so that's another pass. And then that's...
No, that one fails. 17.
Well, that's on
17
the dice, yeah,
yeah.
plus a bonus.
Yeah.
So one more, 17 total. No, 19,
Okay,
sorry.
so yeah,
Plus
2 of
two.
them. Oh, no, 19? Okay,
Yeah.
One of them is afraid, and the
Yeah.
others are just like,
So one of them kind of catches sight of you as you appear here, and your sword emits this light up towards the moon. The rest of them are so transfixed on the sight of the darkness blotting out the stars that they seem to pay you no notice. The one that does catch sight of you, it turns to run, and as it does so, its robe catches on something and is kind of pulled off of it. And what's revealed to you underneath the robe is it's sort of a horrifying sight. So you've seen angels. You've fought against Deva. You've seen Zerial in her angelic form. It's like a twisted representation of that. It's humanoid in general in shape, but like the parts that make it up are all twisted and spirally in ways that like humanoid flesh should not be. And it doesn't seem to have a face as it kind of turns towards you and sees you. It's just like more of that twisted and spiraled flesh. And the wings that come off of its back seem to be more like slimy, rubbery in texture. They're not feathered or anything like that, and they don't seem to be like leathery bat wings like many devils have. It seems to be like a slimy, slippery membrane that comes down from almost like a rubbery appendage. And this thing gets a look at you, and then it unfurls those wings and then flies up into the sky and disappears into the darkness. But the other 5 continue to stare up at the moon.
And Gavin is just on his knees, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, his face is kind of buried in the snow in his hands. He's just kind of clutching at his head and moaning and crying. I didn't mean to. I swear, this wasn't my intention. And he's just completely out of it at the moment.
What did you do?
There's no response initially as you say that. He's just kind of absorbed in his own head. Do you try and get his attention again, or?
Yeah. I think I lay the tip of my sword on the back of his neck and it's like, explain yourself now.
He feels the sword back there, and he kind of looks up at you from the ground. So the sword shifts over to like the front point of his neck. And his eyes are just full of tears, and he's taken it, like his glasses have fallen off into the snow. And he just says, she promised me that my dreams, everything I wanted would come true if all I had to do was little things here and there. But they got bigger and bigger, and when I tried to resist, I thought I could just back out. This whole time I thought that Father was weak for not being able to do the small tasks required to attain greatness, but maybe he understood something that I didn't. And when I tried to back out, Thaddeus, when we talked, you said maybe the thing to do was not to do the thing you're scared of. I tried, I did, but It was too late. They wouldn't let me.
He,
And then he just kind of
Thaddeus,
looks
like,
back to the ground.
looks around the circle. These people wouldn't let you?
And her, she wouldn't let me.
Nasheen?
That name, like, he seems confused by that name, and he says, "No, the Starless Night." And he looks up at the sky again, and he says, "Oh God, what have I done?"
You've done something that, well, we can't undo it now. But are you willing to make amends? Are you willing to atone for this?
He looks up at you with, like, there's just like, his face is full of regret and fear, and like, he's just a total mess right now. He looks up at you and says, "Yes, yes, I'll do anything, whatever needs to be done."
I'm gonna make an insight check on that.
Yep.
It's 15.
Yeah, he seems desperate. It seems like he genuinely did not want this result. So in that regard, he seems genuine. Whether he regrets, the other parts, that's unclear.
Thaddeus lets his sword drop a little bit from his neck and says, "We may have to stand against, what did you call her, Nasheen? The Starless
That name
Night?
again, I don't know that name, but I always called her the Starless Night.
We may have to oppose her. We may have to bind her. We may have to fight her. Can you do those things?"
She's so powerful. You don't understand.
I just come back from killing an Archduke, one of several that I slew down there. So don't tell me what I don't understand or what I should be afraid of. Can you do those things?
Maybe you can, Thaddeus. You're incredibly strong. You've got training. I don't know what I can do. I'm powerless before her. What am I supposed to do? And in this moment, Thaddeus, you kind of feel a presence. It's in the darkness. You kind of perceive yourself as if you are standing in a beam of moonlight, even though darkness has almost taken the entire sky at this point. And the only light emitted in this area comes from you, really. You feel the presence of Asanahen at your side briefly, and you just hear a voice in your ear that says, "A judgment needs to be made. Make your choice. This one is in your hands."
Thaddeus, like, looks deep into Gavin's eyes and says, "You can try. Will you try? Will you at least try?"
Can you just roll like an intimidation check?
Mhm.
I just want to, take advantage because Thaddeus looks pretty
Oh.
intimidating right now to begin with. Like, you're,
Well, I got a 19 on the first die, so
all right. So go for the natural 20.
yeah, I did not get the natural 20. But that 19 turns into a dirty 30.
30. Yeah. He looks up into your eyes, and he takes in Thaddeus as he is in this moment, which is just like this absolutely battered warrior who is still, despite that, unafraid to stand against what is to come. And he looks at you and he kind of like wipes his face and he says,
You know what? Sorry, I
Yep.
don't mean to interrupt your thing, but you know what might help? Like,
Yeah.
can I extend my aura to him to help him not be afraid?
"Oh yeah, sure." So in that moment, he looks up at you. He sees your intimidating form and all of the power that Thaddeus radiates, and you allow your aura to extend over him, giving him that bolstering feeling of courage. And you see his expression change as you allow that to happen. It's as if he feels a warmth and a comfort and a peace of mind that he's never felt before. And just something changes in his face, and he kind of wipes his eyes. He picks up his glasses and puts them back on his face, and he says, "All right, I mean, I'll do what I can."
The Starless might end up paying for what you've done. Can you accept that?
Hold on, let me think about something for a second. Look at something in my notes.
Can you have a not
This
dirty
dramatic
30?
scene.
I don't know.
This dramatic scene brought to you by Dwarven Forge. Nope, I'm just kidding. No one sponsors us.
I guess maybe with a D100 you could have a non-dirty 30.
That's true.
Harmony could roll that on a wild magic table.
Yes.
Sure could.
I rolled.
Also,
you should. In fact, the next time you should say, "I rolled a dirty 49." Or
Yeah,
I
or
rolled
whatever,
a
or whatever it is.
natural 49.
Natural, yeah.
What is a dirty 30 on the
Also,
Wild Magic
for
table?
some reason, the
You
imagery.
hiccup uncontrollably for the next hour. I think I
you've done
rolled
that one.
that
You've done that one before. The imagery I had in my head was that these guys are wearing the Eyes of the World, like coats or whatever, or robes, but then the world part is crossed out and it says moon.
Eye of the moon.
Eye of the moon.
No, they're very plain, dark robes.
So they go around mooning everybody then?
With their eyes.
Circles cut out the bottom.
He looks up at you and says, "No. I need to make up for this somehow. She can't pay the whole price. Some of it's mine."
We'll figure out what that means on Arborea. Where can we go to be safe, away from these people?
As you say,
if people is the right word.
we'll figure that out on Arborea. You feel that presence by you again, but it begins to sort of tug on you, as if to pull you away from this place. And if you let it, there's a rush of motion as you and Gavin are pulled across the landscape and find yourselves in the tavern in Redwater. Mara and Zant, you watch as Thaddeus and a very wretched-looking Gavin appear in the middle of the tavern with you.
I think Zant like pushes against the table and like falls backwards, because he's like trying to attune to this thing and like thinking of Thaddeus, and then he like appears and you just.
Can I say my head canon?
Yeah.
Zant and Mara were both leaning in across the table, and then pop right in between them is Thaddeus.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
I mean,
Oh, geez.
Yeah, sure, whatever he said.
whoa,
Oh, yeah.
where did you dig up this one? What? What's
This thing
going
is
on
way more
here?
powerful than I thought it was. It brought both of them.
I know. Pretty cool.
All right.
Thaddeus, your friends are having a just casual good time eating some stew while all of this was going on.
I think Thaddeus is like
Hands him a
stern,
bowl.
angry, like furious face breaks. Is that stew?
Yeah, and then I hand him a bowl.
Gavin looks at you and says, "Thaddeus, this isn't important right now, right? We have things to do, don't we?
I hand Gavin
Yes.
a
Where
bowl.
are we? What's going on?"
I think I recognize this tavern. Are we in
Yes.
Redwater? Who killed us?
This is
Redwater?
where Harmony's home
What are we going to
is.
do from Redwater?
We're in an inn, Gavin. We're going to sleep, and then tomorrow we will start making this better.
I like clasp. I think Gavin's hands sort of clasp on the stew bowl. I'm like, here, just sit down, please.
Yeah, I mean, he takes it and sits down, but like he's still looking around the group of you, and he's like, "How can the group of you be so nonchalant about all of this?"
Because there's nothing we can do right now.
In
We've,
battle
been in,
duty.
we've literally been in hell, Gavin.
Yeah.
This is bad, but it's not the worst thing I've seen in the
Whatever's
last 7
happening right now, we have to rest. So.
Yes, I'm feeling very polyaxed.
He says, "All right, fine. Well, if you're not going to do anything right now, well, I'm going to see what I can do."
No,
And he stands back up from the table.
Thaddeus grabs him and pulls him back down.
I think, yeah.
He looks a little bit angry, but he goes with it.
Hands him a spoon.
I want you here, Gavin, when Harmony comes back. I don't want you running her out into her on the streets.
Okay.
If anyone's going to play executioner here tonight, it's going to be her, and I have to make your case.
All right. Well, just promise me we'll get out of here as soon as we can. We don't want to be here much longer.
We need to rest. And then once we're rested, once we're ready, then we'll do something. But we can't do anything before we're ready. Look at me, Gavin. Look at Mara. I said Mara because I know that you have the lowest hit points next to me. Like, I figure we're both like bruised and bloody and dirty and like covered in the terrible like
guts of a heart that exploded on you.
Right.
I think you still look fabulous, but I'm not there.
Yeah, he looks around and takes in the state of all of you once more, and he just says, "Fine," and he just kind of like fiddles with the soup, but doesn't really eat any of it. Can the group of you who are here?
Oh my god!
Oh yeah, it's so good.
It doesn't taste like dirt.
That's what counts.
Can the group of you who are here make a quick insight check?
Sure.
10 on die. I get advantage, but my insight sucks.
I got a natural 22.
Dang.
23 for Mara.
How much for Mara?
23.
23, okay.
Oh.
So
Was
Zant,
it natural?
I would say so, probably. So Zant and Mara, you two would, you notice something about the situation that is a bit odd, which is that this is the first time you've seen Gavin without Valerie.
Is it the first time? Was she with us in the Feywild?
Mm-hmm.
Was she stole that thing off of one of the fairies?
Yep,
You're right. She did.
Stole a Fey diamond.
Yeah, that is true.
Okay, so if we notice, I'll say, "Hey, Gavin, where's Mommy Dearest?"
Yeah, he
Did he know that we knew that?
Yeah, he knew that you knew.
Did anyone ever tell Thaddeus that?
I don't know.
I think they did.
Okay.
I think Gavin told
No,
you because you had a conversation at one
maybe.
point in the
Okay.
Feywild, I think, about it.
I feel like sometime in the last 5 years, the subject probably came up.
Anyway, go ahead.
He pauses his fiddling with the stew and he just says darkly, "I don't know," and then goes back to fiddling with the stew.
Come on, no one's gonna insight check that.
I will.
She's bad.
But I'm pretty sure I already know that he's lying. I got an 18.
I'm a bad peanut
18?
gallery.
I mean, he doesn't. I mean, he's not looking you in the eye, so I mean, you could take that as a sign that he's not telling the truth. But also, like, his voice didn't waver at all. If anything, the tone of his voice indicated he didn't want to talk about it more than like that he was. I mean, he's obviously obscuring some truth, but like, he's not he didn't lie. He doesn't know, but
he's not
he's
gonna tell us
not.
everything.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
not telling you everything.
I understand. I won't push the subject at the moment, but I will say, so maybe now that we're here, minus Harmony, we can, before we sleep for the night, we can share some notes and think about things.
I have a lot to tell you. I've been to
Please.
Arborea. Do you know? I'm not actually sure what Arborea is. Well, actually, would I know from like
Yeah, I
studying in
think
a dais?
you would. It's
Okay.
it's so.
I guess. Do I know more about it than that's the place where Asanahan lives?
Yeah, you'd know a little bit about it. So Arborea, you would know, is one of the outer planes. And yeah, you know that that's where Isanahen makes her domain. But she's not the only god who makes her domain there. Isanahen and the her fellow phases of the moon tend to be more elven gods. Tend to be, not exclusively, obviously, but like a lot of elves, worship the moon sisters. Um, and so Arborea is kind of the home to a lot of those moon sisters, as well as a lot of the other elven gods. And that
So,
would be the thing that you know about Arborea.
so when Thaddeus asks if I know about it or if we know about it, I think Zant lights up and says, "Yes, Radiance told me about this." Because there was that one night when we were doing the orc thing, and we stayed up all night talking, and she was explaining how like the different planes and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that, and I'm like, I never had to say anything about it. So I'm like, yeah, I do.
Eh, Uh, she intercepted me on my way back from Malbolg, and we spent a little bit of time there, and she explained what was going on. The darkness up there is one of the Elven sisters who was locked away in the moon.
Okay.
Gavin stops playing with his food for a second as you say that, and then picks it up again.
I think she had, at some point, either before or after, I wasn't quite clear, their ascension godhood, she had been dealing with strange forces and went mad. And when she became a goddess, that madness was a threat. And so, faced with the choice to kill her sister or imprison her, Asanahan imprisoned her
In the moon.
in the moon.
Wow.
So, is that her that's
The dark,
coming out of the moon right now?
I think so. It's my
What was
guess.
that? What was that beam of light?
Her power.
That was me. That was my sword.
Oh shoot.
I can fill in this part. I didn't know who she was. My father had a book that I discovered, and through the book, she contacted me. I didn't know who she was. I just knew that she was powerful, and she promised me that I could be powerful too, and that she said that she could make everything I wanted come true, and she gave me abilities. And all I had to do was little tasks here and there. But they got bigger and bigger. At one point, I had to steal a diamond from a temple. That one, and he points to Thaddeus's shield. And then you guys took it back, and so we needed a different diamond of Fey origin. And so we took you guys into the Feywild with us, and we got a diamond there. And then more little things. All steps, it seems, towards tonight. And finally, she asked me to do something big, which I didn't want to do. But I was addicted to the power at that point. Well, I had to deceive you in a dream. And he looks at Thaddeus. I had to send you on a mission.
I think Thaddeus like slowly gets really like his knuckles get white on his spoon. Like, so Asana had never at all. She was never the one who sent me in to talk to Zerial to get the sword back. It was you.
Yeah, he slowly nods his head. And I swore that would be the last thing. And that I was done after that. But then a few nights ago, well, anyways, here we are.
What were those things with you at the ritual?
His eyes go wide and he shakes his head. I don't know what they were, but they came when I tried to refuse to act, to perform the ritual. And that's when Valerie disappeared.
Yeah, I think Thaddeus looks at Mara and Zant. Any other questions?
Are you still connected to this deity?
He kind of like looks down at his hands. I don't know.
How do you
I
not?
have no
How do you
idea.
not know? What was the science before? If you said you had this power given to you, can you still call upon this power? Is there some connection still? Are you a threat to us if we keep you around? Will she make you turn on us, again?
He shakes his head and it looks like he's getting a little bit more like upset and erratic. I don't know. I honestly don't know. She gave me so much power and she had so much more besides that. I have no idea.
Is that the book that Harmony and I stole from you that time?
Yeah, he nods his head.
He knows us. It's still
Well,
Well, he does now.
if he didn't, he does now.
no.
I'm
But
having a hard time
she
believing
replaced
this.
it. She gave me another one.
Do you still have it?
He kind of pats his chest pocket because he's wearing like a blazer thing. No, I must have left it behind in the field.
So
I'm
what
gonna
kind of
roll an
powers
insight
do you
check on
have now?
that.
What powers did she give you? What can you do?
That's
Hold
a dirty 20 or dirty 22.
on.
Natural.
Yeah, I mean, looking at him, it seems like he's done playing games at the moment. Like he does seem to be confessing everything. So you don't think that he's being untruthful, and even looking at his the chest area of his blazer, you can see like there's no form of a book in the pocket or anything like that.
But he really does think that he left it behind.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a specific thing that I wanted to figure out.
Mara, when you ask him the sorts of things he could do, she gave me a supernatural charm. Made people gravitate to me, listen to what I had to say, do what I wanted them to do, and feel like it was them who wanted to do it. When people tried to use certain enchantment effects on me, she would turn that around back on them. Things like that.
That did happen once.
Yeah, I remember.
Mm-hmm.
It was not fun.
I guess I just don't understand how you wouldn't know if you don't have these abilities anymore. That's the part I don't get. And the part
We'll
that's
find
the
out.
most worrisome to me, if it's just something that she controls, and if you're still able, if she's still using you, right?
He just looks at you and says, "Unless you want me to try using them right now, I don't know what to tell you, but
Yes.
I don't want to do that."
Well, I mean, this is I would like to know if you are gonna stick around with us, if you're gonna be a threat to us or not.
Here, try to
Okay.
charm my
Because
rat.
Okay. He looks at Pinky and kind of focuses on Pinky for a second, and he says, "Dance." Can Pinky make a wisdom saving throw?
I'd like to see this work.
Okay, where's my stat sheet? Sorry. All right. So that would be a what save? I'm sorry.
Wisdom.
A wisdom. So that's a +0. We got a 15.
Pinky kind of looks up from the stew that he is devouring, burps, and then goes back to eating the stew.
That wasn't very supernatural.
However, as he does, try and say that, he does try to give Pinky that command, though it doesn't seem to have an effect. All of the candles and like the fireplace in this room flicker and then go out, leaving the only light to be sources that you yourselves are conjuring.
Arnis eyes.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the headlights and Thaddeus' sword.
What was that? That wasn't a dancing rat.
No, that was new, but I think maybe I do still have some power. It feels fainter, I don't know. Or I don't know how to describe it. It feels as if she's ignoring me, but the dregs are still there, maybe?
Like a waning moon.
That's a setback. I was hoping that you could take us to Arborea like you took us to the Feywild once.
Oh, he kind of thinks for a second and says, "Unfortunately, I had to have something that was tuned specifically to there. I don't have one for this Arborea place. I don't know where that is."
I see. Well, we'll have to rely on Harmony then. Where is she anyway?
Wait,
It was only like 10 minutes before you finally asked.
but what about the origin of that book? Is that from?
That is really hungry.
Is that from Arborea or something? Or is that
He shakes his head and says, I don't know. It was from her.
right?
It disappeared at one point. I guess you stole it, it seems. And then a new one appeared. So
Interesting. Okay.
make of that what you will.
Yeah, Harmony ran towards the temple.
Ah,
I
okay.
mean,
Yeah.
Oh,
So.
Eli.
We can cut over to Harmony. Harmony, after a little while, Eli does return. The darkness has completely covered the sky, blotting out all of the light from the moon and the stars, leaving the only pinpricks of light to be those from candles and fireplaces at this point. But Eli returns to you, and he comes back in and he says, "All right, that ought to do it. I think everyone will stay inside for the time being, but..."
Before he gets back, sorry, I was
Oh, yeah,
trying to
sure.
look up my spells and stuff, but I can cast. What is the fire one called again? The
Create
cantrip.
on fire.
No, not create on fire.
Create.
Thaumaturgy?
Is it control flame? Control flames. I can cast that with my new thing. So I'm just gonna basically go around and find a candle to light just in the room, just so there's light there.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not coming back into a dark room. Basically, that's all.
Yeah, I mean it's still a very oppressive dark, but you have your candle, and Eli eventually comes back in and says, "Oh, good, you're still here. Yeah, everyone should be in their houses now. What are we gonna do? Where's your friends?"
Well, I would imagine they went to go see Hilda and Rick. That's their main stomping ground when we're here. I kind of didn't wait to hear where they wanted to go.
Should we go there too then?
Can we go in the morning? I'm so tired.
He gives you a look that's almost like a bit pleading, but he says, I guess if you want, but
Look,
if they're here, I feel like we should talk to them, shouldn't we?
We can. Listen. Things got really real weird the last 2 minutes we were there in hell, and I maybe kind of sort of banished Thaddeus back to this plane.
His eyes go wide.
And I didn't wait to hear what Mara and Zant had to say about it. I mean, so I'd really just like to just give them the night to just forgive me.
He takes that in and then kind of walks over and sits next to you. Would you have been sitting on the bed or at a desk?
I probably was standing or stood when he came in, but I'll sit down if he sits down.
Yeah, he sits down on the bed and kind of looks up at you, and then when you sit down next to him, he looks over at you and says, "Listen, Harmony, I know that things are sometimes tense between you and Thaddeus. You're just both big personalities, but look around you." And he gestures towards the window. The moon, the center of it exploded. The world is covered in darkness. Things are bigger than petty squabbles right now. I'm sure that Thaddeus and Mara and Zant, whatever they think of your actions back in the Nine Hells, I'm sure that they can understand that it's not important right now. I'm sure they can look past it.
Okay, but we kind of sort of knew this was going to happen. It seems like a shock to you, but it's not really a shock to us. And I don't have any way of even contacting Thaddeus until the morning anyway. He's probably the only one that has any answers. There's not really any point. I mean, if we go there, then it's just going to be all of us together sitting in a dark tavern wondering what to do. Wouldn't you just rather be here sitting in the dark wondering what to do?
I know that you just came from a big ordeal, but I've been sitting here just hoping and praying that you would come home safely, and you did, and that's great, and I'm so happy, but the group of you aren't done yet, it seems. I thought you would be, but how about I just go over there? And if
Leave me here by myself? You think I ran here to the temple just so I could be here alone?
He gives you a smile and he says, "Look, I'm not worried about you. You're gonna be safe even if you're here on your own."
That's not the point. I just stand up and I go to the door. Fine, let's go. And I just go down the stairs without waiting for him.
Yeah. He follows immediately after. He seems like he's a bit abashed after that, but Also, he very much feels it is the thing to do at the moment. So, one more thing, I want to rewind a bit because you were alone in the temple for the most part, but not completely alone. Moloch was there too.
Yes,
Do you have any
that's
conversation
right.
with Moloch at all?
Yeah, that's right. I forgot he was with me still.
Mhm.
Yeah, we
Is
probably
he
did.
tiny again?
He is tiny again. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, okay. So rewinding.
Also, sorry, one more thing to rewind on. Who's got Rotten Rowan's body?
Zant had it, I think.
Oh
Okay.
shoot! I totally forgot about that. Oh god.
Yeah. That's
That
right.
was going to be a weird, much
Oh
weirder conversation.
shoot, Ethan. Crap. Hang on, let me think about that while you guys have the Moloch thing.
And what have you guys done with her? So Zant and Mara have her, but just think
He's
about
propped up in
can
a
we do
booth
the-
in the tavern with the bowl of stew in front
Hang
of
on,
her.
let's do the Moloch thing first so I can think about this. 'cause
Yeah, we
I
can
was
do the
not
Moloch
ready.
thing.
I was completely not ready for this.
Just you two
I'll think
think
about
about
it.
it. Think about
Yeah.
what you want to do with her, and we'll do Moloch and Harmony real quick. Just because I just remembered her as well.
Right. Yeah, so I imagine go up to Eli's room and stand at the window and look out the window. And I probably wouldn't say anything first.
You wait for him to
Honestly.
say something.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a good couple of minutes before he breaks the silence. But finally he says, "Look, boss. I understand that you put yourself out there for me, and I trust you more than I've trusted probably anyone in my entire existence. You know, being a devil in the hells, you learn to distrust everyone and everything because literally everyone behind you is trying to be where you're at, and everyone ahead of you wants to stop you from taking their spot. So you might be the first person that I've ever trusted. Period. That's not a small thing."
Took you long enough.
He kind of shrugs. Look, we had 5 years together. We got to know each other, but
And I've been your advocate since the moment you popped into this plane.
I know that. I know it. I really do. And look, I'm sorry I tried to use you to get what I wanted. I
I'm gonna
now
insight
realize.
check that.
Yeah. Okay.
Insight check to see if he's really sorry or if he's just saying that because he's sorry that he made me feel sad.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's a natural one.
A natural one. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell.
Okay.
He's kind of like averting his gaze a lot right now. Like you can't really get him to look you in the eyes.
Okay.
But he goes on. He says, "What I'm realizing now is that maybe what I wanted was flawed to begin with. So the more I think about it, I don't know if I was ever going to be happy in hell, and I don't think it really hit me until I saw the armies of Beelzebul and Mephistopheles arrayed against us. But and then Asmodeus offered me Avernus if I killed Thaddeus, and I thought for a second maybe that would make me happy, but
So that's what you meant. That's
Yeah.
what you meant down there when you were talking about taking over Avernus.
yeah, it was. He promised it to me if I killed Thaddeus before we left, but
And that's why he gave you back to us.
Moloch shrugs. Look, I just don't think I could have been happy living in an infrastructure where I was someone's pawn. You know, I want to be on top, right?
Yeah,
I want to be the boss.
yeah.
So, look,
Is
that's what
anyone
I'm.
really ever happy in hell?
Uh,
I mean,
he
it's
shakes his
hell.
head. I guess not, but it's funny. You don't think about that when you're part of it. And I didn't realize it until I went back there for the first time with the group of you, got the revenge I thought I wanted, got the offer I thought I wanted. I don't know.
Well,
Maybe I've made a big mistake, but maybe I haven't.
you want to run things. You want to be in charge. You want to be the boss. Maybe once we figure all this shit out, we can find a way for you to be a boss somewhere here.
He shakes his head no at that, and then he says, "Nah, I think I'm over this place. But I don't want to go back to hell either. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe Limbo." He shrugs his shoulders.
Limbo's nice.
Yeah, it's what I hear.
Yeah, I've been there.
Carve out a nice little domain, make it what I want it to be.
Yeah,
Get
you'd
some
be the boss of everything.
underlings.
Sounds nice.
Might not be bad.
People bend
Oh,
over.
we got to figure out how to get you. Sorry.
People bend over backward for you there.
Listen, Mullet. You know, whatever happens, I'm not going to let Thaddeus really kill you. I'm not going to let that happen.
He gives you a hard look and says, "Look, I mean, I think that if it really came to me or him, you'd choose him. But you know what? Then I just run away. So, yeah."
I think that, well,
Anyways,
we're gonna find a way to make it work for both of you. But just know that if it comes down to it and he tries to kill you, you saw what I did, and I'd do it again in a heartbeat.
He shakes his head and says, "Well, look, I'm not so sure. But the thing is, the point I'm trying to make, the point of all of this mushy gushy stuff that I hate, is that I'm putting my trust in you, boss. And if anyone can find a way out of this, if anyone can manipulate the laws of the universe to make things work out, it's you. So that's my point. That's it."
I kiss his head,
He like
like the top of his head.
Yeah, he runs away to the other side of the room. What the
Just
hell?
let him go. Just let him go.
He's like
Look out the
wiping it
window.
off. Okay. So what happened with Rotten Rowan? What did you guys do with her?
Okay, did you have any good ideas? I had one idea.
What's your idea? I had no
Alright.
ideas. This is your
So, oh god. Alright, so I do have some, well, okay, I think I have some clothing and stuff that I can use to kind of cover her up. I don't know,
Sure,
is Rotten Rowan a medium-sized creature?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We've got some Eyes of the World cloaks too. Well, maybe we don't. It's been 5 years.
Also, they're in the
Hey,
bag
yeah,
of holding.
but-
Yeah, so I would call out to the bag of holding and look for some of these clothing articles.
Yeah.
Do I get
You
them?
wanna
yeah.
try and call up? What do you try to call up?
Well, I have
exactly?
like nobles robes, and I have the Eyes of the World robes, and I have some other clothing. But yeah,
So
those
which one
ones.
do you go for? The noble's clothes?
Sure.
All right. You try to call up the noble's clothes, and when you do so, the thing that appears in your hand is a scrap of a noble outfit, but it is singed and simultaneously covered in frost, and bits of it are crumbling into dust. It has been thoroughly blasted by the elements.
Oh shoot! And so I'm like, oh, what the heck? So, do I have an idea of what would cause this, or am I just
I mean,
Make an Arcana check.
the only
Yeah.
thing that's different now is we put that amulet in there?
that amulet,
I
yeah.
forgot that's what we did with the amulet. And
Okay.
I am very
And,
pleased.
You've seen what the amulet does when it's not attuned to harmony.
Yeah, it's like it's chaos.
Yep.
So okay, I'm like, okay, well, thinking fast, I will try and cast Pass Without a Trace on Rotten Rowan
Sure.
to try and, and through all the chaos when we're sort of dragging her along, it along, and we just kind of like everyone's looking up, not at us.
Yeah. I mean, no
We
one
gotta
seems to
just-
pay you any mind,
Let's
especially
go,
if you cast that
Oregon.
spell.
Let's go to the inn, please.
And then what do you
So-
do with her when you get to the inn? I mean, no one seems to have paid any attention to her so
Yeah,
far.
I think at that point, if we're inside, I'd just put her against a corner. Maybe just behind my
Okay.
chair and somewhere, or maybe just somewhere I can see her in the corner.
Yeah, find a cloak and cover her with a cloak.
And then Thaddeus shows up. Does he have any objections to this treatment? You would have noticed her, just kind of
Oh,
there covered.
No. I think maybe Thaddeus might have made an offhand comment. I was like, are we gonna get her own room, or what are we doing here?
God. I mean, this is really Harmony's thing, right? To try and. How about maybe Harmony will come over here, and if not, we'll go to the temple and let her know. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's about an hour or so before Harmony and Eli do show up. And
Zan
she does
Hansom's
still
from
seem to
Stew.
be unconscious for the moment. So Harmony, you walk in and you see the group of everyone here, including a very bedraggled looking Gavin.
I immediately summon a firebolt to my hand and aim it towards Gavin. What the fuck is he doing here?
He's
And then
atoning Harmony.
I shoot the firebolt at his feet.
It lands right by his feet, and like in reaction, he like pushes his chair back and like tries to get out of the way of it, but he doesn't like yelp or anything like that.
I think Thaddeus just nods and looks at the Gavin and said, "This is why you couldn't go outside."
Zan will just like kind of put a bowl of soup into Harmony's hands, and like, this is really good. It's not
Really good.
ash.
Eli sees Thaddeus and says, "Hey, Thaddeus, I'm glad you're safe."
I'm eating the soup.
Same to you, Eli. Is Moloch on Harmony's shoulder?
Did he come back with me, or did he fly behind us or something? What did he do when Eli came back? That's what I want to know. Is he the third wheel, awkward third wheel?
Yeah, he would have been like, "Let me give you two some space," and then he would have walked out. I think. Like he would have walked out and then gone invisible and sat on top of the temple until you left or something.
So he's hanging around, but he's invisible.
I think he probably would not have come in because he knows Thaddeus can see invisible creatures, and he
Does
doesn't
he know
want-
Thaddeus is here?
That's true. He doesn't. So yeah, Moloch would have come in and just been like on Harmony's shoulder, seen Thaddeus out of reflex, gone invisible. Remembered that doesn't help. Like yelped and flown towards the door.
I think Thaddeus just like catches Moloch's eye and just like nods once. And
As
then
he's like trying to open the door.
doesn't do anything else.
Wow, it doesn't taste like dirt.
It's not dirt.
I know, right?
I'm on my third bowl. I'm not even hungry anymore, but I can't.
I noticed. I noticed Thaddeus for the first time. Wait, how did you get sent here? That's what I was trying to do.
Well, no, because it points at Gavin. They just kind of this seeing stone thing is really cool. Apparently,
I don't understand.
Been busy. I've been off plane. I've been where were we, Gavin?
A little bit west and south of Farendell.
And now she's taking us here again.
Cool. So, I guess Eli wants to know what's going on. And I go sit down next to Zant and I eat my soup.
And Thaddeus re-explains the whole thing for Harmony. I think he explains Gavin's part of it too.
Yeah, Gavin doesn't seem like he wants to explain anything. He's still just kind of like, I mean, now that everyone's here, he's gone off into the corner. He might be sitting next to Rotten Rowan, kind of like off in the corner, keeping to himself. So Eli says, so, all right, that's what's going on. That's big. What do we do? What do we do about it?
Isanahan has something going on Orboria. We have to get there. so we can.
We're not going anywhere right now.
No, I know. We're gonna have a rest. We're gonna eat. We're gonna sleep, and then once we're able to do something again, it's off to Arborea.
I look very pointedly at Eli. Like,
He
told you.
yeah, he like throws up his hands. Look, I knew that you had to rest. I didn't doubt that. I just thought we should meet up with your friends first and get a plan in place. Save some time. Then he just goes back to his stew.
Oh.
Poor dog just knows what's going on.
There's no more moon to howl at, guys. Calm down.
It's still there. It's still there. Maybe they're howling because there's a hole in it now.
Is the moon still visible, but just all the stars are gone?
No, the moon
Oh,
has
it's
gone
not
out. The
invisible.
star has gone out. Nothing in the night sky is visible at this
Just
point.
black.
It's just darkness. Yeah, which means basically, unless you have a light source of your own, you are walking in pitch blackness anytime you leave an area that has like firelight.
Yeah, this is bonkers. Well, I've never heard of this Arborea place, but I can get us there tomorrow. But then I'd be burning my 9th level spell slot right at the beginning of the day. Can't be helped.
Not ideal. I had hoped to have Gavin bring us there, but I'm not sure that he can anymore.
Well, and I'd also hope to be able to eat another really great meal tonight. And the stew is real great, but like, you know, but I am completely spent.
I've only got enough left to bring Lulu back. Well, that'll be nice for her, not to see Hell again.
Yeah, when's the last time she got to leave hell?
It's been thousands of years, I think.
And what about Zariel?
I don't know. I didn't see her.
Well, but like, what are you gonna do about her? Are you gonna ask for her help, or?
I don't know how to contact her.
I hold up the ruby.
Honestly, in the morning I may contact Dawn, just in case none of this works out.
Does anyone else have anything they want to talk about tonight or do?
I realized that I'm still a furry cat person, and I didn't know if that also made people confused.
Not tonight, it doesn't.
Okay.
How long does that last?
An hour? Some change? Or I don't maybe just an hour? Let me see.
I think it's about an hour, yeah.
It's an hour.
But yeah, I
So
mean,
I probably would
people
have dropped
don't,
that.
today in particular, people don't seem
I'll
to
be
give
right
it
back.
a
Okay.
second glance.
Good.
Would Moloch permit me to have a conversation with him, or is he just going to flee in terror anytime he sees me?
Depends. How do you approach him?
I think I'll leave my sword on the table.
That certainly helps.
Yeah. And like with my like arms up, hands up.
He kind of puts his up too.
Do you know why I was trying to kill you? It's not because I hate
Yeah. Well, I mean, you do though.
you a little bit, but that's not why.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I was down in Asmodeus's palace, Malshim, for a long time. I heard the story. I know what's up.
I'm sorry for the record. You don't have anything to fear from me now. There's no way for me anymore to fulfill my end of the bargain. So I don't think we can be, or I don't think I would want to be your friend, but no hard feelings.
He kind of squints at you. Does Thaddeus seem like he's being genuine?
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, he says, yeah, sure, no hard feelings. I mean, look, I don't like you, you don't like me. No one's to blame for what happened. It's the way of things, paladins, they kill the devils, we try to kill the paladins, it's It is what it
think,
is.
Yeah, I think Thaddeus stops. No, that's not true. I'm to blame for what's happened.
He shrugs and says, "Well, put the blame where you want it. It's the past, but look, I don't think you're giving the boss enough credit. She's gonna get you out of your deal. I know she will."
Well, it'll be her will against Asmodeus', and I guess we'll see who prevails. But having known Army as long as I have, I'm not sure I would bet against her.
Yeah, he. This is the first time he kind of like actually looks you in the eye, and he says, "I will always bet on the boss."
Thaddeus nods.
We're not in the hells anymore. His power doesn't extend. Well, not as well, anyways. So.
Yeah, Thaddeus just like nods at him again and takes his leave.
Okay.
I have a question. Does Gavin know Rowan? Or
No.
Rowan? Did they-
And he just isn't questioning things at this point.
Okay.
So he's just he's sat down like across the booth from her, even though she's just kind of like covered in this, robe or whatever. And he's just kind of like,
Are we tying her up? What are we doing here?
it's a good question. She's still
I
unconscious.
don't know. I think we can just let her, maybe take her away from the town and leave her there and let her be.
Shouldn't we see this
When
thing to rest? I mean,
Well,
The trouble
when it comes time to okay, look, the only way to restore her to who she was is probably a wish. And it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to do that anytime soon. So if we want to just take her out into the woods and set her free, if what she says is true and her destiny is tied to mine, I have a feeling that she'll find me again, or I can find her.
I think the
I don't
stick's
know
going to
where
your
to
head,
put her.
Harmony. Let's.
I don't know where to put her. What else are we going to do with her?
Maybe we
I
ought to
don't want her to
keep
be
an
in
eye
the
on-
town.
Maybe we ought to keep an eye on her for a while.
You should
Bring her with us?
in a cell
Well,
somewhere. He looks. Thaddeus looks to Eli. Is there a jail here?
What about under the temple?
That's a thought.
that's a good idea, I think.
There is that space under the temple, and we do have a small. I wouldn't really call it a jail, but we have cells for holding.
I mean, I
people
wouldn't
who-
put her in a normal jail because she's mad. She can cast spells and stuff.
Yeah,
She's pretty
we don't have
powerful.
anything that will prevent anything like that. Just for like pickpockets and stuff.
Under the
Put 'em in a
temple might be
cell.
better.
I can't remember clearly, but the way to get under the temple, was it protected by, like, only
Yeah,
Eli
so-
could get in?
Yeah, Eli has to perform some rituals, and then the statue in the center of the temple moves aside, revealing a stairway downward.
Yeah, so Eli's the only one who can open that door.
Yeah. So,
But there was that long fall into another
Mhm.
place.
And then you also have to factor in that potentially Rowan might have magical means of escape.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my idea was to pop her into a demiplane, but again, that would
Wish.
use my wish spell. So if we are in a hurry to get to Arborea, we can't deal with Rowan right now. So we need to just let her go and deal with it down the road.
Oh, gosh.
What if we took her to Arborea? What would Asana say?
You're muted, Nick.
Oh, I'm muted. What?
Oh no, you're
Oh,
not.
no,
You're
now
not.
you're back.
Now you're back.
That was weird.
I don't think that's a good idea. I would rather put her below the temple than bring her to my goddess's
Yeah.
home.
Or I can banish her tomorrow.
Wouldn't that just?
But that would defeat the point purpose. But
Yeah. So
I don't know what
Okay.
else to do.
I don't know.
otherwise, we still have to deal with what's his face, putting him in the Shadowfell. Garyon.
Oh,
Yeah.
we can cross that bridge later.
Do we have time?
Still got.
Not now.
Let me check your.
Oh,
countdown
time?
on
Yeah,
that.
we have some time. We have like a week or something, I think.
You've got. Where? Wow, I have to really scroll up my notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 nights. So after tonight, you'll have 5.
Okay, well, that's still plenty of time.
In the morning, I can teleport us anywhere that we've been before. If there's a place that has some kind of a magical cell that we can put her in. If the capital, maybe. We could teleport to the capital and then you could see Dawn in person. And then we could see if they have some kind of a special prison for wizards.
They would have to, right?
Right? That they could keep her there. And then we could plane shift from the capital.
Running
I like
on
that
the
idea.
slots, though.
Well, it's not everything that I have. It's 2 big slots, but
Yeah.
I have more than one 7th level spell slot.
Can we at least tie her up so she can't speak or use her hands or things?
Yeah, I'd like to get to that too. Let's see if we have a rope because we have a problem with this bag, and I'll pull the bag of holding out. I'm like, yeah, I think that when we put that, you know, whenever we take out that amulet, Harmony, whenever the amulet of yours, I think it had some fun inside the bag. Maybe we should pull it out.
Everyone's leaving.
Goodbye, everyone.
Yeah, I thought something like that might happen.
Yeah, it did.
Well, I mean, do we do it now or do we do it in the morning?
Can we contain it now, or can we continue in the morning?
I don't know. I'm very tired.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's already done its damage.
See
I can
there's
see if
still
we have a rope.
left in there.
All right,
I have a rope in my pack right here,
Oh,
and I
great.
pull it out.
let's do that.
Pull it out.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I'll fasten a rope around Rowan.
Okay.
Tie like a gag around her mouth so she can't speak.
Bind her hands
Alrighty
and stuff.
then.
So we actually had. Oh no, just never mind.
Make sure you tie your hands so she can't do any.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
Spells.
try and do. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Does
I
she
think we
have
can do
any
that.
belongings on her?
Yeah, she would have to have some kind of like a material component. So I think she would have like a rowan wood wand.
We'll take that.
But other than that, she's kind of sparse on belongings.
Okay.
Like, that's
Yeah,
about
just
it.
make sure we take her wand away from her too.
So you can bind her so that she can't do anything somatic, verbal, or material. So yeah, she's stuck unless she's got physical means of getting out of these ropes.
That makes me feel a lot better.
All right. Yeah, we can just leave her in one of the rooms here. I'm satisfied.
Okay. Well, I mean, those are the things I was worried about. So we can deal with the bag in the morning, I guess. And then, yeah, I think that's fine.
Do hags have to eat? I mean, like food, normal food? Do they just eat babies?
Unclear.
I did all that research though.
Yeah, you think that they do eat food, but they usually have like weird food, like grasshopper porridge.
still
Will
have-
she die if she
hang on.
doesn't eat?
I still have the apples from that tree in Mother Midnight's house.
Oh my god, those are 5 years old.
Those are gonna be quite rotten. Yeah.
Those are
But it's perfect.
Definitely not.
Rotten
I
Rowan,
like
rotten
that.
apples.
But are they in the bag?
Yes. Well, no. Let me ask you: are they in the bag?
Well, I don't have the inventory up right now.
That's fine.
Zach.
No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Do you want to try and produce those?
I'll wait till tomorrow. It's not important right now. We'll figure it out.
Maybe we can find her a chicken rat egg.
What should we do with the amulet even if we take it out of the bag?
Destroy it.
Do we know how to do that?
Give it to Mike Jensen. I don't know.
Mike Jensen got fired.
Give
I
it
mean,
to his
I can't-
predecessor. I'm sure we can find the means to destroy it, or something, right? I mean,
Maybe we should keep it in the bag until we know how to destroy it.
well, that kind of destroys the purpose of the bag, though. If it's gonna.
Hey, I will tell you one thing, Zant. Since you have held this bag for a long time,
Mhm.
you know how the bag of holding works. Let me see. Let's see. If the bag is turned inside out, its contents spill forth unharmed. So that's an option. If it
Does that
is,
destroy the bag though?
if you turn it inside out, no. If you overload it, pierce it, or tear it, it ruptures and is destroyed, and its contents are scattered in the astral plane. Otherwise, you can place a bag in an extra dimensional space, such as a portable hole, handy haversack, or other similar item, which instantly destroys both and opens a gate to the astral plane.
We could technically do that, but I don't want to. So,
Well, we could maybe
Hang on.
find.
I have an idea. I still have this quiver. It has 3 different compartments, and I only use one of them.
Yeah, you think that counts as an extra dimensional space, though.
So if we pull it out and quickly shove it in one of those other ones I don't use, there's nothing else there.
The amulet, not the
Amulet,
other bag of holding.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just transfer
Then
it.
it can just
from
cause
one
whatever
bag of
chaos
holding
it
to another.
wants, wherever that is, and I'm never going to use it until we know how to deal with it.
That's an idea.
I'm going upstairs while you do that. Bye.
No, we're going to do that tomorrow.
Oh,
We're gonna do it
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Okay.
okay. So the group of you find a night's rest.
Great.
Which room does Rotten Rowan go into? I mean, rooms in this inn
Should
are
we-
open, so you can.
Should we
take as
leave her
many rooms
alone
as
though?
you want.
Should we keep her in one of our rooms?
Thanks for volunteering, Harmony.
Uh-huh.
Zant will shut the door on his room.
Harmony, you really want this woman in our? Oh, all right. Okay.
Wait, you're gonna stay here and not at the temple?
Oh, no, I can go back there. That's
I mean,
okay.
you're welcome to stay here with me. I just,
mean, I
since
didn't
you
mean
wanted
to
to come
assume,
here.
I guess I did assume that
I
I
mean-
would stay with you, but I don't have to.
No, please.
Then I will.
well, Thaddeus and Gavin are going back up to Thaddeus' room.
Oh, I think Zant would also call it, hey, if you want Byako to be there as a watch guard too, we can... Sure, he's happy to do
I mean, between you have the highest passive perception, I think, of the group, right?
Byako and I do, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe you should keep her.
Eli gives you a furtive thumbs up where no one else can see it.
Oh, me?
Yeah,
Fine.
good going.
I can read the room. All right. And I just
Unless you were planning to bunk with Mara.
grumpily drag this gross hag into my room.
This is really getting
Um,
awkward.
The group of you.
It's not the romantic night Mara was intending.
The group of you find rest, uneasy as it may be. Throughout the night, each of you has restless dreams. They're the sort of dreams where, for brief moments of time, you are dreaming about being in the room that you're in, and everything feels very vivid and real. And you will feel as if something is moving in the darkness just beyond the edge of the light, and it will occasionally creep up and brush against your legs. And in the dream, the thing that brushes against you has these kind of like wet, slimy textures to it, and then you wake up and you realize nothing is there. And the candle's just getting a little bit low, so you go and light that up again. In those brief moments where you're transitioning between sleep and awakeness, you hear, or think you hear, it's a little bit unclear, strange whispers in the back of your mind that seem to hint at hidden truths and then fade from your memory, and it's as if you can grasp at them but not understand what these whispers are getting at. An altogether unrestful night. The group of you awake the next morning to pitch darkness. Could be morning, maybe it's not.
When you say unrestful, you don't mean
You do get a long rest,
Okay.
yes.
Thank you, Nick. I was like, do I need to ask this?
It's just one of those nights where you
Yeah.
wake up and you feel like a bit on edge. More than a bit, very on edge, because your dreams were so fitful and real.
Do I wake up to an awake rotten ruin?
You do, in fact.
Oh god.
She, from her corner of the room, just seems to be calmly staring at you.
That's somehow even worse.
Ethan, I didn't want to interrupt you during your narration of the night, but the previous evening I would have summoned Lulu back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she's very happy to be out of hell. Like, she does big laps around the inn on the outside, just with her 120-foot speed, just zooming around. And we get to go to Arborea next, you said? That's fantastic. I haven't been back there in a long time. I wonder if Zariel's back there. We might get to see Asanahen. Ooh, I bet we do. That's great. I'm excited.
She doesn't seem too upset about the black sky.
Once, like, you summon her in the inn, and then she goes and flies around outside, and she thinks maybe it's just nighttime. But once she kind of calms down and you explain that to her, she understands the gravity of the situation, and then she gets a little bit more solemn. But in that initial bit, she's very excited to be out of hell. Okay. The group of you, morning has come upon you, perhaps morning. What would you like to do? Kay's counting out characters to plane shift.
I
To teleport, I can teleport myself and 8 others. So by summoning Lulu, that means that's like the max number of people we can bring to Farendel.
What's the Lulu flight time between Redwater and the capital?
It'd be a bit.
At
And
at
she's
full
not going to be
speed?
able to carry everyone.
No. I mean, like,
As big as she is.
yeah. Is it like a matter of like hours? Or is it like if she's at full speed?
Probably. I mean, you're quite a distance away if you're at Redwater, so because the entire Heart Lake stands between, and then there's other, there's more land as well.
But she moves like really fast, right? When she's like,
yeah, but she can't keep that up forever.
okay,
right? She's gonna get exhausted if she flies.
Because we
full
flew
speed.
in like Avernus for like really long time, so I was like, all right.
Wait, no, I'm at 7 others. I think I was counting myself before. So I can bring one more person.
Sant, Byakko, Thaddeus, Moloch.
I didn't count Moloch because I was going to have a chat with him this morning. Basically tell him, look, you don't have to come with us. If you want to just hang out here and take a well-deserved break, like, you don't have to come with us to Arborea. I don't even know if that's something you'd want to do.
He says, look, I don't fancy getting stuck there. Those positively aligned planes. I imagine it's going to kind of suck for me, but I don't know. Look, maybe there's an option up there for helping Thaddeus out of his predicament, and I screw that up if I don't come with. So
that's fair.
I think I owe it to you, not to him, to you, to come along. I mean,
All
if
right.
you're okay with that.
I am. Yeah. Just, no funny business.
No, we talked things out. We're okay for now.
Oh, really?
Not
That
good,
surprises
but
me.
okay.
Well, I'll take it. I'll take it. Okay. Well, I wanted to bring Eli, but I guess he's gonna have to stay here.
That's probably for the best. When you need me, call and I'll be there. But the people of this town, I think, do need
That's
some
true.
light. So
I pull out the feather, or do I still have the feather, or did it like dissolve when I used it?
it didn't dissolve. It kind of the light
Still have
faded
it.
from it.
Okay, so I pull it out and I hold it to him and I say, "This was huge, but I guess it doesn't work anymore."
Yeah. So you can just get rid of it if you want, or hold on to it. Either way, but it took a lot of time and effort to make that. I don't have the time or the resources now to make one right
I
away.
understand. Well, I have a feeling we'll probably be back anyway. So I just thought you'd like to see Arborea.
I would. I really would. And I always enjoy going on adventures with you and Thaddeus. But if there's no room, there's no room. And the people here do need me. So
That's true.
just call when you're ready for me and I'll come to help.
Okay.
I'm sure you'll find a way.
Okay. You keep these people safe. They're
That's the
relying
plan.
on you.
Would we're going to are we going to Freight? Or
Yeah, let's go to Farendel.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's still the plan, I feel like that's probably the best.
Yeah.
The most likely place to have a prison that would hold our prisoner for us.
Okay. Yeah, and then I can see Dawn.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So I guess as the group of you teleport away towards Farendel, that's probably a good place to end tonight's episode.
Should probably mark off a spell slot if we're gonna just do it right off the bat.
Whisk away.
And you did have enough room for Rotten Rowan,
Yes.
Moloch, and everyone else? Okay, perfect.
Yeah. With
Then, yeah.
Moloch and Lulu, that's 8, including myself, or in addition to myself, which is how the spell works. So
The rainbow magic swirls to life, and the group of you are whisked across the continent of Freydin towards the capital, Farendel, and we'll pick up there next week.
Real quick, would we have any complications moving the chaos amulet? If you
Did you
say
wanna try
yes,
that?
yes,
Probably, yeah.
we
Yeah,
would.
something would
Okay,
probably
then
happen.
we can save it for next time.
yeah, let's save it for next time.
Okay.
He
Okay.
really wants to move that.
I really want to deal with
We
it.
can do it. We can do it real quick if you want.
Oh, okay. If everyone's okay with that, yeah.
Yeah, let me just grab
That
one
was just
thing real
one
quick.
of the morning things.
Before we teleport.
Yeah. Wake up bright and early to a weird amulet
Just
transfer.
Destroy freaking Hilda's Inn.
No, we should go
Well, we
outside
go
of
outside.
town.
We go outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Thanks for
Okay.
your hospitality. We're gonna deal with this extremely
Kaboom!
dangerous artifact.
Let's blow up your inn now.
No, we're going outside of town.
Okay, yeah, you make your way outside of town with your group of followers as well. And then how does this transfer go down? Zant, do you just kind of reach for the amulet and then
Probably.
transfer quickly?
Who's got the most strength? Who's the strongest one?
I think I am.
You? You are? Then yeah, it's all you, buddy.
All right.
I'll assist you.
Okay. So with telekinesis. No.
Yeah?
Yeah. So yeah, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do it, and I'll just do a countdown, and then I'll call the amulet, and then I'll have the quiver ready, one of the compartments I don't use, and just try and.
Okay. It appears in your hand, and it is just sparking with magical energy. Like lightning bolts will fly off of it. I mean, not like massive bolts, but like sparks. or like it will produce a quick flame, splash acid on the ground. It's just like this thing is just unleashing elemental chaos from the gem as you pull it out. Make a strength check with advantage if Harmony is using telekinesis to help transfer it to the bag.
Sure. It's pretty good. Just straight strength or athletics?
You can do athletics.
Great, because that turns into a 28.
28. Okay, so yeah, you're able to pull it over towards the bag, but as you're doing that, the thing pulses with a burst of this rainbow energy that you've seen before. Harmony, can you make a charisma check?
I was just gonna ask if there was anything. Just a charisma check.
Yep.
Not bad. 21.
21.
Dirty
Okay.
21.
Dirty 21.
This thing is about to unleash wild magic on the immediate vicinity, but your fragment of balance pulses as well. And you feel like you can harness the power of the fragment of balance to subdue the wild magic that is about to burst out.
Yeah,
so
I do that.
What do you want that? What does that look like?
To subdue the magic?
Mm-hmm.
What is it? I mean, what is it? Just aesthetically, what does it look like?
Yeah, I mean, how does it look when Harmony channels this energy?
Okay. I feel like probably because I've still got it manifested as the like Chaos Amulet 2.0, like really gaudy statement necklace type thing. And it probably pulses with rainbow energy as it's reacting. And so I'll just kind of close my eyes and let the rainbow energy just kind of pulse outward from me in like a sphere of like protection.
Yeah, and so that kind of encompasses, does it encompass your allies or does it surround the burst that is coming from the amulet and like contain it?
I would say it probably encompasses my allies like in a radius
Okay.
of like 30 feet or something.
Yeah, the wild magic from the amulet just kind of explodes out around you, but Harmony's amulet, has just in this brief moment a burst of energy as well, and a barrier of magic intercedes between every single person here and the chaos amulet itself, and you're able to slam it down into the quiver's interdimensional pocket.
Okay. Oh god. Well.
For jewelry I got in hell, this is pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm just
I
glad
imagine
that
rainbow energy meeting rainbow energy, and then Skittles go everywhere.
Taste the rainbow.
When things subside, there are a few like weird things that have happened to the landscape, like some flowers nearby. The like central part has been replaced with gems, or like
Well, I'd like to pick some of those before we go.
a potted
Nice
plant
flowers.
has appeared out of nowhere.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. A couple like weird phenomenon have occurred in the
There's like
surrounding
bubbles.
area. Yeah, there's
floating
bubbles
around.
floating through the air.
Floop's talking to us again.
There's a cactus in the middle of this wintry snowscape.
The trees are hiccuping.
Mhm.
Well, I think that could have gone worse.
But none of you are affected.
Definitely could have gone worse.
That's pretty much as good as it could have gone, I think.
Yeah.
Good job, Sam.
Thanks for the assist.
Yeah.
Now I get to look at the state of things.
Oh boy, I hope it
I'll
didn't destroy everything.
Figure that out later, I guess.
Ooh.
And so now the group of you teleport away, and
Yeah,
that's where we'll end
that's
this
good.
episode.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah,
Thanks.
that's good. That's good, no.
I can sleep easy now. Easier.
All right. So thank you for watching. Thank you guys again for playing, as always. We'll be back with more of this Monday, 7 p.m. Pacific time. So hope to see you then. Bye.
Bye.